Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life: family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because They are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. We are again going to discuss self esteem. Pay close attention to what I say. You should listen to this broadcast several times. Self esteem is the core problem that leads to violence and self loathing that leads to self destruction. Your self loathing and or low self esteem can lead you to a pimp. It can lead you into prostitution or into making dirty pictures or letting someone mistreat or abuse your children. Your desire for acceptance from others and your desire for someone to say they love you can be the core problem to your dissatisfaction, and you will need professional help. If you are having a problem at work, you need to examine your self esteem. If you think people do not respect you, you need to examine your self esteem. I am harping on this subject because thousands and thousands of people are living miserable lives because they have low self esteem. They never try reaching for their dream. They find comfort in drugs or alcohol. You are not a failure just because your grandmother says so. Self esteem really needs to be investigated and understood. Children really should not suffer because the low of self esteem of their parents. Apparently, under analysis, self esteem explains why we find unmarried women with 4 or 5 children, all having different fathers, and the males are often referred to as my baby's daddy. Self esteem also explains why a woman will repeatedly have sex with a married man, why women sell their body for a man, and why women allow their children to be raped by their boyfriends. Upon examination, we see all sorts of evilness sprouting from the lack of self esteem. Murders are committed every day because of lack of self esteem. There are women who date men for 15 years and refer to these men as their fiancés. knowing these men have no intentions of marrying them. Again, what is self esteem? Self esteem is how you feel about yourself. Self esteem means feeling good about yourself, that you are happy with yourself. Although self esteem is not a fixed entity, meaning it fluctuates throughout our lives, we still should note under what circumstances where our self esteem changes significantly. When you make note of changes in your well being, that will help you determine when a situation is good for you and when a situation is not good for you. When our self esteem dips low, when does your self esteem dip drastically? What challenging situations lower your self esteem? Your goal is to establish a foundation of a healthy self esteem that is consistently steady and unwavering across all areas of your life. This is very important. Make a list of what affects your self esteem throughout the day: co workers, job, school, hobbies, activities, the club, organizations, your friends, etc. When are you comfortable and when are you not comfortable? Never, sometimes, or always. When do you like yourself with these people and when do you not like yourself when you're around these people? Why can't you speak your mind? Are you afraid that you're going to be rebuffed or laughed at? It is when you feel bad, it is where you must concentrate your understanding. Self esteem reflects an individual's overall subjective emotional evaluation of their own worth. It is the decisions made by individuals as an attitude towards self. Self esteem encompasses beliefs about oneself as well as emotional states such as triumph, despair, pride, and shame. Self esteem is viewed two ways. Either you like yourself and have high or good self esteem, or you dislike yourself and you have low self esteem. Problems enter the picture when an individual has low self esteem. Then their behavior is predicated on making others like them. When a person has low self esteem, they torment themselves by always thinking they are less than other people, they need to be greatly improved, or must do anything so people will like them or love them. These are very dangerous thoughts that can constantly lead to disaster. Self esteem is intricately linked to self confidence. Low self esteem, low confidence. You notice we are only interested in low self esteem. Now, people with self esteem like themselves, they accept themselves. There is not a lot of internal dialogue about what they must do to fix themselves. They are confident in their decision making. They do not constantly ask others what they should do or shouldn't do in various situations. These people ask for what they want. Many tend to be leaders, whereas people with low self esteem that feel bad about themselves are hard on themselves. They constantly criticize themselves and they think they're not good enough. Now, self esteem is developed during early childhood, during a person's interrelationships with their parents, teachers, siblings, and other relatives and friends. The people in our lives can affect how we feel about ourselves. When they focus on what's good about us, we feel good about ourselves. When they are patient, when we make a mistake, we learn to accept ourselves. When we have friends and we get along, we feel like we are liked. But if adults scold us more than they praise us, it's hard to feel good about ourselves. Bullying and mean teasing by siblings or peers can hurt self esteem also. Harsh words can stick and become part of how you think about yourself. The internal dialogue, that's the voice in your head, the things you say to yourself play a part in how you feel about yourself. Thinking I'm such a loser or I'll never make friends this hurts your self esteem. There are other ways to think about the same thing. I didn't win this time, but maybe next time. Maybe I can make some friends. The voice is more hopeful. It helps you feel okay. And it could turn out to be true. Sometimes the voice in your head, which is your internal dialogue, is based on harsh words that others have said or on bad times we have faced. Sometimes the voice is just us being hard on ourselves. But we can change the voice in our head. We can learn to think better of ourselves, learning to do things. We can feel good when we learn to read, add, draw, or build. Play a sport, play music, write an essay, ride a bike, set the table, wash the car, help a friend, walk the dog. Each thing you learn to do is a chance to feel good about yourself. Step back and look at what you can do. Let yourself feel happy with it. But sometimes we are too hard on ourselves. We don't accept that we do anything good enough. If we think that's not really any good, that's not perfect, or I can't do that well, we miss the chance to build our self esteem. You must constantly praise yourself to try to elevate your self esteem. If your self esteem is low, you can do things to feel better about yourself. It's never too late. Here's some of the things that you can do to raise your self esteem. Be with people who treat you well. Some people act in ways that tear you down. Others lift you up by what they say and do. Learn to tell the difference. Choose friends who help you feel okay about yourself. Find people who you can be yourself with. Be that type of friend to others. Say helpful things to yourself. Tune into the voice in your head. Is it too critical? Are you too hard on yourself? For a few days, write down some of the things that you say to yourself. Look over your list. Are these things that you're saying to yourself, do you say to a good friend? Not. Rewrite them in a way that is true, fair, and more kind. Read your new phrases often. Do it until it becomes a habit to think this way. Accept what is not perfect. It's always good to do the best you can, but when you think you need to be perfect, you can't feel good about anything less. Accept your best. Let yourself feel good about this. Ask for help if you can't get past the need to be perfect. Set goals and work towards them. If you want to feel good about yourself, do things that are good for you. Maybe you want to eat a healthier diet, get more fit, or study better. Make a goal, then make a plan for how to succeed. Stick to your plan, track your progress. Be proud of what you've done so far. Say to yourself, I've been following my plan to work out every day for 45 minutes. I feel good about it. I know I can keep it up. Focus on what is going well. Are you so used to talking about problems that they're all that you see? It's easy to get caught up in what is wrong, but unless you balance it with something that is good, it just makes you feel bad. Next time, catch yourself when you complain about yourself or your day. Find something that went well instead of something that went wrong. Give and help. Believe it or not, giving is one of the best ways to build self esteem. Tutor a classmate, help clean up your neighborhood, walk for a good cause, help out at home or school, make it a habit to be kind and fair, do things that make you proud of the kind of person that you are. When you do things that make a difference, your self esteem will grow. Remember, we learn best when we repeat information to ourselves. Repetition is an excellent element in learning, and in order to build self esteem, we must understand the dynamics of how we view ourselves and what tools we use to stop the torment of beating ourselves up every day when we make a mistake or think someone else does not like us. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the Hands of a Million People. Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage.
You have 3 choices. You can sit on your couch and do nothing. You can participate sometime hardly doing anything. Or you can step into the future that you designed. The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You either stand up for yourself with the chance of winning or failing, or grow old, mean, bitter, and hateful, driving your children to run from home or move to another state because of your archaic ideas. Time is running out. What are you going to do?
Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
Don't be discouraged. Yes, you can live a life you want to and be the person you want to. Be a goal-getter. Take this bold step to order and purchase these life-changing books so as to learn the detail of the struggles and limitations women faced before becoming the icons they are today. Then you can avoid mistakes too. I'm going to be honest with you here. There's only one inspirational book which has encouraged me not to be fearful as a woman, but to take a bold but little step to changing my low self-esteem and total life situation positively, so quickly and greatly. My little secret has been the books titled Women of Courage. This book has been so amazing and knowledge-packed. Before now, there hasn't really been a right, perfect time to do the right or perfect thing. Most often than not, I've continued to wait for the right time to have things done, but it always never comes. Not until I got hold of the books, Women of Courage. To gain knowledge and becoming a woman of purpose, only then I was able to create the perfect and right time to grab every opportunity that confronted me. I was strong and determined never to get too comfortable and to stop growing. I was able to use and control my anger and temper for the right course. I became the woman of courage that was not deterred of what people say. I created and took advantage of every opportunity where people saw as limitations. Thanks to the story of many courageous and determined women of history. Interesting, isn't it? The success story of many women who read the book convinced me. Here I am, more refined, courageous, and living the kind of life I have always hoped for. You too can become the woman of courage and purpose everyone would admire, just like me.
We all know that self esteem, sometimes referred to as self worth or self respect, can be an important part of success. Too little self esteem can leave people feeling defeated and depressed. It can also lead people to make bad choices, fall into destructive relationships, or fail to live up to their potential. Too much self esteem is exhibited as a narcissistic personality disorder, and it can be certainly off putting to others, and it can damage personal relationships. Self esteem at extremely high or low ends of the spectrum can be harmful. It is best for most people to try to strike a balance somewhere in the middle. A realistic, positive view of yourself is considered to be ideal. But what exactly is self esteem? Where does it come from? And what influences does it really have on our lives? Again, the term self esteem is used to describe a person's overall sense of self worth or personal value. In other words, how much you appreciate and like yourself. Self esteem is often seen as a personality trait, which means that it tends to be stable and enduring. Self esteem can involve a variety of beliefs that we have about ourselves, such as the appraisal of our own appearance, our beliefs, our emotions, and our behavior. Self esteem is important because it can play a significant role in your motivation and your success in life. Low self esteem can hold you back from succeeding at work, at school, because you don't believe yourself to be capable of succeeding. By contrast, having a healthy self esteem can help you achieve because you can navigate through life with a positive, assertive attitude and believe you can accomplish your goals. Self esteem is one of the basic human motivations. People need self esteem from other people as well as the inner self respect. Both of these needs must be fulfilled in order for an individual to grow as a person and to achieve self actualization. It is important to note that self esteem is a concept distinct from self efficacy, which involves how well you believe you're handling a future action, performance, or ability. Different factors can influence self esteem. Genetic factors that help shape our overall personality can play a role, but it is often our experiences that form the basis of our overall self esteem. Those who consistently receive overly critical or negative assessment from our caregivers, parents, family members, friends, for example, we will likely experience problems with our self esteem. Additionally, your internal dialogue, based on your age, any potential illnesses, disabilities, or physical limitations, and your job can affect your feeling of self esteem. Here are some signs of a healthy self esteem. You probably have a good sense of who you are, and you exhibit the following signs. You exhibit confidence, the ability to say no, a positive outlook, ability to see an overall strengths and weaknesses in oneself and accept these. Negative experiences do not impact our overall perspective of self, and the ability to express our needs. Pay close attention to this list. Signs of low self esteem. You need to work on how you perceive yourself. Signs of low self esteem are negative outlook, lack of confidence, the inability to express your needs, focus on your weaknesses all the time, feeling of shame, depression, and anxiety, the belief that other people are better than you. You have trouble accepting positive feedback, and you are always feeling failure. I'm going to repeat the signs of low self esteem. You have a negative outlook on life. You lack confidence. You have the inability to express your needs and wants. You're always focusing on your weaknesses. You're always feeling shame, depression, or anxiety. You believe other people are better than you. You have trouble accepting positive feedback, and you're always walking around with the fear of failure. Reason why we keep coming back to self esteem is because it is one of the primary factors that determine one's success in life. Self esteem affects whether or not you have the confidence to stand up in class and ask the question. It affects whether or not you have the courage to ask for a raise from your boss, whether or not you sleep with every man you meet, whether or not you mule drugs for your boyfriend, whether or not you sell your body to any and everyone, and whether or not you'll sell your body to help your friend, your boyfriend, earn enough money to start him a business. Listen closely. Self esteem has nothing to do with the price of your wig, or how much you paid to have your nails done, or how much you pay for a handbag or a pair of shoes. Self esteem has to do with what you will or will not stand for from another individual. Self esteem means, will you go looking for another job because you believe you are being mistreated in your current job? Self esteem means, will you go back to school to get another degree when you are dissatisfied with your current occupation? Self esteem means whether or not you will not tolerate your husband's infidelity over and over again. People can end up in the gutter or the graveyard for lack of self esteem. People can live torturous lives afraid no one will like them if they demand respect or refuse to be bullied by their family and friends. Bullying is not always done by strangers or an enemy. Bullying can take place in the family among parents, siblings, husbands, and wives. So we're going to spend a great deal of time with this subject. Self esteem is how we value and perceive ourselves. It's based on our opinion and belief about ourselves, which can sometimes feel really difficult to change. Your self esteem can be affected whether you like and value yourself as a person. Are you able to make decisions and assert yourself? Do you recognize your strengths and positives or weaknesses? Do you feel able to try new things or difficult things? Do you show kindness to yourself? Do you move past mistakes without blaming yourself unfairly? Do you take time you need for yourself? Do you believe you matter and are good enough? Do you believe you deserve happiness? For me, building self esteem was learning what self esteem was in the first place. It was unlearning what I had learned about myself. I went back to school and learned all about me. There are lots of things that can cause low self esteem in a person. The things that affect our self esteem differs from everyone. Your self esteem might change suddenly, or you might have had low self esteem for a while, which might make it hard to recognize how you feel and make it hard for you to change. Difficult or stressful life experiences can often be factors in low self esteem or causing low self esteem, such as being bullied or abused, experiencing prejudice or discrimination, losing your job or have difficulty finding employment, problems at work or while you're studying, ongoing stress, physical health problems, mental health problems, relationship problems, separation or divorce, worrying about your personal appearance or your body image, problems with money or housing. You might have had some of these experiences, and you might also have had other difficulties that are not listed there, or there might not be one particular cause. My self esteem has almost disappeared. I don't know how to interact with people anymore, and I find it hard to enjoy myself. Is that information familiar to you? Is that what you say to yourself? Ever has affected your self-esteem? It is important to remember that you have the right to feel good about who you are. It might feel as if changing things will be difficult, but there are lots of things you can try to improve things bit by bit. You can approach the situation slowly and chip away at building your self esteem. There are various stigmas that affect the self esteem. Experience a stigma can affect your self esteem, including the stigma of mental health, because people with mental health have difficulty finding housing and maintaining themselves. Having low self esteem is not a mental health problem in itself, but they are closely linked. If lots of things affect your self esteem for a long time, this might lead to mental health problems, for example, depression or anxiety. Some of the experiences of low self esteem can be signs that you are experiencing a mental health problem, particularly if they last for a long time or affect you day in and day out. For example, feeling of hopelessness or feeling of worthlessness, blaming yourself unfairly, hating yourself, worrying about being unable to do things. Having a mental health problem can also cause you to have low self esteem, and it might be harder to cope or to take steps to improve your self esteem. I repeat, what is self esteem? Self esteem is confidence in one's value as a human being. It is one of the most important factors in your life. It is synonymous with achievement, good relationships, and satisfaction. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break. Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of a million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach a million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage.
You have 3 choices. You can sit on your couch and do nothing. You can participate sometime hardly doing anything. Or you can step into the future that you designed. The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You either stand up for yourself with the chance of winning or failing, or grow old, mean, bitter, and hateful, driving your children to run from home or move to another state because of your archaic ideas. Time is running out. What are you going to do?
Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
Don't be discouraged. Yes, you can live a life you want to and be the person you want to. Be a goal getter. Take this bold step to order and purchase these life changing books so as to learn the detail of the struggles and limitations women faced before becoming the icons they are today. Then you can avoid mistakes too. I'm going to be honest with you here. There's only one inspirational book which has encouraged me not to be fearful as a woman, but to take a bold but little step to changing my low self-esteem and total life situation positively, so quickly and greatly. My little secret has been the books titled Women of Courage. This book has been so amazing and knowledge-packed. Before now, there hasn't really been a right, perfect time to do the right or perfect thing. Most often than not, I've continued to wait for the right time to have things done, but it always never comes. Not until I got hold of the books, Women of Courage. To gain knowledge and becoming a woman of purpose, only then I was able to create the perfect and right time to grab every opportunity that confronted me. I was strong and determined never to get too comfortable and to stop growing. I was able to use and control my anger and temper for the right course. I became the woman of courage that was not deterred of what people say. I created and took advantage of every opportunity where people saw as limitations. Thanks to the story of many courageous and determined women of history. Interesting, isn't it? The success story of many women who read the book convinced me. Here I am, more refined, courageous, and living the kind of life I have always hoped for. You too can become the woman of courage and purpose everyone would admire, just like me.
Please pay close attention to this information because thousands and thousands and thousands of people suffer because of low self esteem. It is keeping them from winning, it's keeping them from being happy, and it's also keeping them from dealing with bullies in their lives. When you have low self esteem or negative self esteem, you put little value on your opinion or on your ideas. You focus on your weaknesses, what you perceive as weaknesses, and your thoughts, and you give little credit to your skills and assets. You believe that others are more capable or successful than you. You probably have difficulty in accepting positive feedback. You might fear failure, which can hold you back from exceeding at work or at school. When you have healthy self esteem, this means you have a balanced view of yourself. For instance, you have a good opinion of your abilities. You recognize your flaws, but you also recognize what you're good at doing. When self esteem is healthy and grounded in reality, it's hard to have too much of it. Boasting and feeling superior to others around you is not a sign of too much self esteem. It is more likely that you feel insecure and you have low self. You boast because you do not want people to recognize what you think are flaws in your personality. When you value yourself and have good self esteem, you feel secure and worthwhile. You have positive relationships with others and you feel confident about your abilities. You are also open to learning and open to feedback, which can help you acquire and master new skills. When you have healthy self esteem, you are assertive in expressing your needs and opinions. You're confident in your ability to make decisions. You are able to form secure and honest relationships and are less likely to stay in unhealthy relationships. You're realistic in your expectation and you are less likely to be overcritical of yourself or others. You are more resilient and are better able to weather stress and setbacks. Self esteem affects virtually every facet of your life. Maintaining a healthy Realistic view of yourself is not about blowing your own horn. It's about learning to like and respecting yourself, your flaws, and all. Please pay close attention to the next information. Low self esteem is a negative evaluation of oneself. This type of evaluation usually comes or occurs when some circumstance we encountered in our life touched on our sensitivities. We personalized the incident and experienced physical, emotional, and cognitive arousal. This is so alarming and confusing that we responded by acting in a self defeating and self destructive manner. When that happens, our actions tend to be automatic and impulse driven. We feel upset, emotionally blocked, our thinking narrows, our self care deteriorates, we lose our sense of self, we focus on being in control and become self absorbed. Raising your self esteem is possible, but it requires that we grow as we face our fears and learn from our experiences. Some of this type of work will require you to see a psychotherapist. Do not reject the idea of a psychotherapist. Some of the things that you can do on your own is one is try to stop self-destructive behavior. One of the things is try to get rid of your addictions. Try to replace them with self-care. Practice self-care by joining self-help groups and practicing positive health care. Try to identify triggers that cause the feelings inside of yourself. Start paying attention to yourself. Watch how you respond to your thoughts. Acknowledge when you talk to yourself negatively. Give yourself a choice on how you want to respond. You have the right to identify what you like and what you truly do not like. You have the right to reject what you do not like and what you truly do not need for yourself. Do not have to be detached. You can confront the things in life that you do not like. If you do not like your job, then go back to school and change your situation. Be more assertive. Voice what you see, what you feel, and what you want to make occur. Start using statements beginning with the word I. By expressing your thoughts and feelings and desires in a direct and honest manner, you can show other people that you are changing your life. And finally, last but not least, remove the words if, can't, shouldn't, wouldn't, maybe, I might from your vocabulary. God bless, and remember, believe in yourself and stand up. To summarize, for a person to be at risk of brainwashing, it is necessary that at least one of the following characteristics are met. The victim has low self esteem. The victim has been physically or sexually abused. The victim struggles with drug and alcohol dependency. The victim lives in poverty. The victim has little or no legal protection. Once the trafficker detects one or several of these vulnerabilities in his objective, he or she will seize any available opportunity to seek out the potential victim, including in person tactics at malls, bus stops, walking to and from school, and outside of group homes. Keep in mind this information as we continue to discuss those men and women arrested and convicted of sex trafficking. This insidious behavior must be stopped. We must all participate in the prevention of sex trafficking. This activity is destroying our nation. I want you to pay close attention to this next list. It's extremely important that you understand what this list is saying to you. The list is the results of low self esteem and a poor image. Low self esteem makes you hateful, it makes you produce despicable behavior. You will sneak into a woman's room or you'll sneak into a man's room. You'll tell one another secrets after someone confides in you. You will have sex with every man you meet. You will bring men into your home that you know nothing about. You will let these men molest your children. You will neglect your children for the praise from some man. The consequence of a low lifestyle. You will commit adultery. You will betray your friends. You will lie. You will cheat. You will cover up. And you will prostitute yourself. Nothing good comes from lack of confidence. You will try to steal someone else's husband. You will be filled with jealousy, hatred, and envy. You will commit rape, murder, and commit debaucherous acts. Low self esteem is a hateful lifestyle. You must do everything and anything to raise your self esteem because it not only affects you, it affects your children. Your child's life depends on your self esteem. The Women of Courage show broadcasts every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Please remember, if you are not in your car or near radio during our broadcast, we can be seen and heard on your computer if you go to TV33WHPR.com. Again, TV33WHPR.com. We can also be heard on your phone if you download the free app WHPR TV Detroit Live or listen to us on Roku at WHPR TV Detroit Live 88.1 FM. If you missed one of our broadcasts, you can view our archive on YouTube at the Touched by the Light Publishing channel. Twice a month on Saturday, I meet with my listeners for a discussion about issues affecting women. Please join us. For dates, times, and directions, you can reach us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. Stop thinking there is nothing you can do to change the world. Your life is important. You need to come out and join us and give a voice to our concerns. For more information on our subjects or our books, you can email us at murderedvoices@gmail.com. We enjoy your listening to the Women of Courage show at WHPR every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. And we support your local hairstylist. Do not forget to go to touchedbythelight.us website and download a copy of the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. This is very important information, and we would appreciate it if you email a copy of this booklet to 5 other women. We are trying to reach 1,000,000 people with this booklet. Help us reach our goal. Your emailing this booklet to another woman can help save a life. Thank you. Recovering your life from foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, or other personal tragedies is not easy, but you must believe. You may be wounded, broken, battered, and hurt by life, but you must stand up and fight. People often say, when you're going through hell, never give up. It's easy for someone to say this, but talk is cheap. But you are in a place where every turn you take are met with a challenge or trouble, one thing after another. I'm not here to simply tell you not to give up. I understand what it means to be going through what you're going through right now. I slept on a cement floor being bitten by spiders to survive. However, I'm here to tell you that change is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you must hang on and do as I tell you. Yes, change is possible. I want you to hope and to believe against even all evidence. Despair is no respecter of status, it is no respecter of age, background, gender, or color. Somewhere right now there is a child crying, a man high on drugs, a mother dancing in a club just to pay her bills. Somewhere right now out there is a person heartbroken, a loss of a dear one, a failed promise of love. Somewhere out there is a person clothed in rags, without a home, without affection, and without a family, and without love. Somewhere right now, someone out there is broken, going through a rough time. I say unto you, hold on, stand fast. You can restore and recover your life. You must believe that you are worth fighting for, regardless of what the world says. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When a doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, and I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days, I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I do not know, but I will find out for you. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child. Saying I do not know is a courage, not a weakness. Have the courage to say I do not know, then go and ask a librarian to help you. Your child will learn his or her self-esteem and self-confidence from you. When you ask for help, it lets your child know there is no weakness in asking for help to obtain knowledge. Everyone in his or her lifetime will have to ask for help from someone. Your child will learn from your flexibility and courage. You can get more information on Women of Courage at touchedbythelight.us. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage and have a great day.